So then from there, to start your membership with us.
Okay, I'm gonna wait for some people to come in because I was trying to go live with StreamYard, and I don't know what the issue is or why I'm not ever able to go live with StreamYard. So it's like, um, yeah, so I am now live just through YouTube. So I know there were some other people who wanted to come in. So I'm going to wait for them to kind of see that I am now on just regular YouTube. Let's see here. And okay, so I see that people are now coming in. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. I need to figure out what's going on with StreamYard, and a whole reason with me trying to go live was just trying to see if I can work out the kinks so I can go live more often coming up. But well, anyways, welcome to my channel. My name is Sonia Unapologetic, and on this channel, we talk about mental wellness and living a free life from a Black woman's perspective. And before we go any further, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And I just kind of wanted to come in and kind of do an update on what's all going on with me. As some of you guys have seen, I've been on YouTube for a year now. So it's been a year, and I want to thank you all for being here with me for the last year. So I thank you all for that. Um, let's see here. Another update that I wanted to tell you all about is that I am going back to Mexico, and that's going to be next month. So unless some crazy plans change, I will be going back to Mexico next month. I already have my plane ticket, so I am excited about that. And so you guys will continue to see the journey and see videos that I put up about me in Mexico and my life in Mexico. And something else I want to run by you guys. So um, I'll most likely talk about this some more in future videos. I wanted to run an idea for like a new segment of the channel. So I don't know if any of you guys have ever watched like horror stories on YouTube, and not like some type of movie that is like a horror movie, but I don't know if you guys ever saw like people writing into a YouTuber and talking about certain horror stories. So I saw one YouTuber doing hair horror stories. There's been some YouTubers who do MLM horror stories. And so I wanted to start doing horror stories about like struggle. So, for instance, if you've had like struggles with your job to where you've been overworked and highly stressed, if you feel like the whole world is on your shoulder and you're not getting any rest, you're stressed out, you're having high anxiety because everything in your life kind of feels like a struggle. I wanted to kind of test that as a new segment and to have basically you guys write a letter and send it to my email address, soniaunapologetic@gmail.com. And that might be kind of a good, just kind of a new segment where I would read the letters on my channel, and just my viewers and everyone just kind of get to hear what some of us are going through or what we have gone through. So you would send that to soniaunapologetic@gmail.com, just basically your struggle horror stories, what you've dealt with in your job, what you've dealt with in life, and kind of an update as if you've gotten out of that situation or if you're still in that situation and want to get out of it. So that's kind of something that I'm kind of playing around with to see if that can be a new segment that I do. So it would again be the struggle horror stories. So you guys get in the comments and let me know if that is something that you would be interested in. And honestly, I'm probably just going to redo this live. A lot of this was just for me to kind of test out and see what's going on with StreamYard. I cannot figure out what's going on. When I've had the paid version, I was able to go live easily. So I guess I may have to go back to the paid version. But now it's like when I press start broadcast there, it's like nothing connects. It's just a black screen. I do the allow access to my camera and everything, and nothing works. This has been the second time that that's happened. So I'm going to have to figure out how I can get that to work out, because I know it has like better features with doing things through StreamYard, and I want to be able to do more lives on the channel. So this is probably just going to be more so of a test. And then I'll redo the live because I really want to get you guys feedback about the whole idea of a new segment. And I guess like an example would be like, for instance, with a struggle horror story. There was a lady I worked with many years ago, so it's probably like 20 years ago. And she was the youngest in her family. She had like 5 other siblings, and then she was the youngest. Her mom had dementia, and her siblings put like all of the weight of everything and all of the work was put on her. So I guess since her siblings had their own families and she was single, they felt like all of the, everything that had to do with their mom was going to be put on her shoulders. So this lady was very sweet, but I remember like her hair was falling out. She was extremely stressed because she would go to work, and then she would go after work, she would go to her mom's house who had dementia, and she would sit there with her mom, and she was telling me that she wasn't getting any sleep. And she really wasn't eating. And she would say she'd forget to eat. And like she had to realize that she hadn't eaten. And every once in a while I'd see her like maybe eating a Snickers or something, but she really wasn't eating like she should have. She really was not sleeping at all, because she said she went from our job to sit with her mom who had dementia, which I'm like, her mom really shouldn't have been alone having dementia. And she said she would go and like run the errands. She would get the groceries. She would cook, and then she would put the stuff in a container and put it in the refrigerator for her mom. And then she said a lot of times after work, since her mom had dementia, she would get back and her mom had like taken everything out of the refrigerator and threw it in the trash. So she was having a lot of issues. So it was extremely stressful. Her mom had dementia, so she really wasn't really fully understanding that she was her daughter. And I'm just like, okay, you have 5 siblings, like somebody needs to be able to help you out with this stuff. And she's like, no, they just all depend on me. And like I said, her hair was falling out. She wasn't sleeping, but it's like she felt like that was what she was supposed to be doing because that is her mom. And that's just very, unhealthy. Like to me, I looked at it like, this is like a struggle horror story. And I don't know if struggle is maybe, the word that I'm going to use for that segment, but just any horror stories, I put with quotation horror stories that you felt like you've had to do it all. And that everyone kind of looks at that as normal. And a lot of times when you're in it, you look at it as normal. It's like if you're working, several jobs, you have no help, you don't to take care of yourself and do any self-care. You never, get to enjoy life. That just becomes normal. And so the reason why I want to do this segment, because I want especially other Black women to know that we're not the only ones, dealing with that. We have, other sisters who are dealing with the same thing. But I want to like denormalize that, if that makes sense, because I remember working with this lady. I really couldn't say much about it because um, she she looked at it as, no, no, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and I don't want anyone, talking bad about my family. And of course, the mom could not help that she had dementia, but the fact that this woman had like five other siblings and they felt like, no, I don't have time for it because I have a wife and kids. And I felt like that was kind of an excuse for them to put everything on this, one woman, to where the family could have been helping. And I remember her being at work and her family members, I don't know if it was a brother or whatever, calling her and telling her like, hey, remember, mom's microwave is broken. Remember, you have to go, get her a new microwave. It's like no one wanted to help her with anything because it was just so much easier. And because she was such a sweetheart, um, she wasn't going to say anything. She felt like, no, that's my mom. I have to do this. And I just feel like once we see how our body is responding to that, our hair is falling out, we're not sleeping, we're losing a bunch of weight, there's bags under our eyes and dark circles under our eyes. Our body is telling us that, okay, something's wrong. Obviously, this is more than what we can handle. So, for whoever, for all of you who just came on, I'm just talking about possibly a new segment that I want to do, to where I would call the segment Struggle Horror Stories, and to where my viewers would write in and send it to SoniaUnapologetic@gmail.com, to where basically any overwhelming stress and just overworked and just the whole world on your shoulders, if you've dealt with situations like that, then you would write in and I would read it in a segment and hopefully have multiple episodes to where that can kind of be an ongoing thing. So yeah, I think that would be very encouraging for a lot of viewers because my channel is about freedom, and it's about ease and kind of coming up out of those situations to where we don't normalize it. We don't feel like, oh, I have to do this, and if I don't do this, I'm lazy or whatever. I've talked to a lot of women to where I've just been like, man, this is not the way we should be living. Like, and they look at me like, that's life. Like we have to work hard and do this, to live, and that's life. And I feel like we need to normalize us being able to take care of ourselves and not having the whole world on our shoulders. So let's see, Tara, I see you are here. Tara says, I know all too well about folks wanting to normalize their gaslighting. And Tara also says, I took care of my father, youngest of seven, and no one even came to visit or offer a hand to me and my kids. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, once we tell everyone, like, no, no, I got it, then you give people an inch and they'll take a mile. Once you're the one in the family to where you tell everyone like, no, I got this, I know grandma is sick, I'll take care of it. It's like, then everyone's like, oh, that's easy, I don't have to do anything. So your cousins, your siblings, whoever, you would think that everyone would come together and say, oh, we'll all take a piece of this, or we'll all put together to where financially we'll take on the burden so grandma can be in a facility with healthcare professionals who are equipped to do this. Now, when you say that you're okay with taking it on, people will take advantage of that. And so that's why I'm kind of excited about the idea of a new segment, kind of showing like, okay, do you have a struggle story to where you're in a relationship and you got no help. You worked 2 jobs and you cooked, you cleaned, you took care of the kids, and maybe your partner was like, "Well, this is easy. If she gonna do it all, then then I'm a letter, and then you're sitting here feeling like I'm so stressed. I'm, having anxiety, like this is too much, but then you're feeling like, well, what do I do? I have to keep doing this. So I'm gonna, continue in future videos to continue, talking about this new segment. And once I get, enough, emails, then I'll make this episode, and then hopefully this can really catch on and be a thing. But I guess I really want to make sure that I'm explaining it well and that people are understanding it. And like I said, I've saw some other YouTube channels. There's one lady to where she was doing something called hair horror stories. So I guess she was maybe it was a natural hair channel, and people would write in, like, for instance, if they went to a stylist and the stylist snuck in a relaxer, and then the stylist totally messed up their curls, or if they went to a stylist and the stylist put bleach on their hair and all their hair fell out. So I can't remember the YouTuber's name, but she did something called hair horror stories. So again, for people just joining, I'm looking to do something called struggle horror stories, to where it would be a segment or a series that I would do on this channel, to where you would write in to SoniaUnapologetic@gmail.com. You would put the story in the body of the email. And also, I think another thing that I'd want to add is maybe include a link to your social media, preferably Instagram, or maybe Twitter or Instagram, or even Facebook, I guess, for me to make sure the person is like for real and not like trying to play games. Because I know, like, some of the YouTubers I watch who do like the horror story series, sometimes they're just kind of like, is this for real? Like, is the person trolling? So I think that that'd be great, to where if you decide you're going to send in a horror story, put the story in the body of the email. At the top, maybe specifically state if you're okay with your name being used, or if you're like, hey, I don't want my name being used. And you can definitely like change names in the stories. Like if you're talking about like, I, did all of this, and had to take care of my mom on my own with no help from my siblings, you can always be like, oh, then my sibling Bob, I'm gonna call him Bob for the purposes of the stories. You can change names, to make sure that, you protect, the people that, are in the story. But I don't know, I think this is could possibly be something really cool, and something that would be encouraging, something that would be exciting, and just very interesting, because my whole channel is about freedom. And I don't know if Stephanie Perry coined the term ease. I know a lot of people talk about soft life, but I prefer ease a little bit more, because I felt like when and I love soft life as well. I love to see what's going on with soft life. But I think a lot of times when I saw soft life stuff, I would see like the Instagram posts to where it's like, okay, this is soft life. It's like I wake up in this Gucci robe, and it's like my hair is always done, and I always look like I've just gotten the makeup artist and whatever. It's like the aesthetic felt like a lot of perfection, to where for me what's ease and freedom is I woke up and no, my hair wasn't done, I didn't have on any makeup, I have on a t-shirt and some shorts. That's what I wore to bed. It's not designer. And that's what it is. That's how I woke up. I think for me, that's more freedom, than it always having to have this aesthetic, having to, have this perfect looking aesthetic is something that kind of, gives me anxiety. So yeah, also for those who just joined, I am returning to Mexico next month. I have my ticket. My plan is to return to Mexico. And I say my plan is because, anything can always happen. So unless, something just comes up, I am in preparation to return to Mexico next month. And so I think that would be really, really cool. One thing, I had my sister with Global Sisters Connection on here. And so Global Sisters Connection gave me a gift when she went to Nigeria. So I know she didn't expect this, but this is the gift here, and I'm just now opening it. And I'm opening it live with you all. And this is a gift from Global Sisters Connection. She has a YouTube channel on here, and she went to Nigeria earlier this year. And this is beautiful purple. Let's see. Oh, it's a beautiful dress, you all, from Nigeria. Beautiful material. And so, yes, this is a gift from Global Sisters Connection. You guys check out her channel. So thank you, sister. The story behind this gift is it was supposed to be for, I think it was supposed to be my birthday this year. And then it's like we would meet up and then I would forget about it. And then she'd be like, oh, I forgot to bring your gift. And she even came with me to Mexico when I first did my first sabbatical in Mexico in February of this year. She actually flew out to Mexico with me. And then I think we were in the airport. She's like, oh man, I forgot that gift. Because she was supposed to bring it when we went to Mexico. So this gift has been months in the making, and it's finally made it to me. And honestly, I kept forgetting too. It's like we finally got to see each other last weekend, and we went out to eat, and she gave me the gift. I think it's supposed to be birthday since it has the candles and everything. I think it was supposed to be my birthday gift. So yeah, thank you guys for all being here. I apologize that it started out rocky. I was talking about how I was been having problems with StreamYard. Like, I don't know what it is. When I had the paid version, it worked just fine. And now that I don't have the paid version, and of course, I guess it could be user error on my part, but it was working when I had the paid version. So maybe I just need to go ahead and get back with the paid version. But it's like somehow like it doesn't connect. I love the features with StreamYard, but I want to get that together because I want to start doing more lives and like consistent lives to where like every week I go live. But I've been on here, I've been on YouTube for a year now, and I thank you all. One of the things that you all can do to help me out, since I've been on YouTube a year, and I'm trying to get to my next goal of 1,000 subscribers, and it's steadily going up. Like I'm on my way there, but if you guys know someone who would enjoy my content, share with them and have them subscribe. If you're watching and you aren't subscribed, think about subscribing and join the Unapologetic Tribe. And then also, there's videos of mine that you haven't watched. You can binge watch some of the playlists, the travel playlists. I feel like that's one of my favorites because I got to really show like my documentary style skills and showing, me and, some of my sisters in Playa del Carmen, and then I did some Mexico City stuff, and then also just a lot of the other towns around Playa del Carmen. I have some footage of us having a great time. So yeah, so the way you guys could help me out is checking out, videos, binge watching some stuff, leaving comments, and then also just sharing with others who might be interested in my content. Also, another way you guys can support is by following me on social media on Twitter, and then also on Instagram. On Instagram, it's Sonia Unapologetic. On Twitter, it's SS Unapologetic. And I'm going to go back and put everything in the description box. Since I had to restart the live, initially I had everything in the description box, but I'm going to go in and redo the description box so you guys can see all of the my social media, and for you guys to be able to follow. So what do you guys think about, and I know some of you have just gotten here, but what do you guys think about the whole struggle horror stories as a possible series that I would do going forward, to where my viewers would send in a letter and talk about some struggles that, like, really it being a horror story, kind of like the example I gave with my ex-coworker, to where she wasn't sleeping because she worked all day, and then all night she would go and take care of her mom who had dementia. So she was like, well, I don't get sleep. I never understand that. People who say, I just don't get sleep. And they're just like, no, I don't need to sleep, to where they're truly running on absolutely no sleep. There was another guy that another person I knew, but this was actually a guy. And this is somebody I worked with. And this was at the bit like the beginning of my corporate America year, because this was at the beginning of my corporate America career, because both of these stories were when, I was in like my early 20s. And so it's sad, like that was my introduction to, like, hey, this is what life is supposed to be. But with this other story that I'm about to tell you guys, it was a coworker. He worked with me at a call center. I can't remember if he was a manager or what. He worked with me at a call center, and he said in the middle of the night, he worked all night because he had a business that was like a cleaning business, like a professional, like corporate cleaning business. So he didn't get any sleep at all. So he said all day he worked at the call center that we worked at. And then all night, in the middle of the night, it was him, and he had a small team. They would go into businesses and thoroughly clean in the middle of the night. And so I'm like, well, how do you sleep? He's like, I don't sleep. And it was like he was proud of that. And I just can't imagine what that does on your body. But I would love to see like what his point of view is on that 20 years later. Like, how did that affect your body that you spent years just not sleeping? I guess maybe every once in a while he got a cat nap, but this person didn't even look tired. Like, he would show up like, yes, I'm ready. And he said he worked all day and all night. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he said like, oh, I sleep when I die. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know why people think that that makes sense. But hello, everyone in the chat. Semi, Tara, of course, Global Sisters Connection. Wendy, hello. Yeah, and then, okay, Wendy says, I thought I was already subscribed, but I just subscribed. Okay, another way that you guys can help me is to just kind of always make sure you stay subscribed, because I've heard people saying that somehow they'll become unsubscribed. And so make sure that just, every once in a while when you're watching the channel that that you're still subscribed. And I'm going to start saying that on my videos going forward. But I am on my way to being monetized, so I want to make sure I get, my subscribers, up, and also that I get my watch hours up. But I'm like 83% there. So the way they allow you to become part of the AdSense program is for you to have 1,000 subscribers, and then there's an amount of watch hours that they want you to have. And I'm about 83% there. So I thank you guys, everybody who's allowed me to get to this point. But yeah, that would really help. Like every time you're watching a video, make sure that you are still subscribed, because I think somehow you I don't know if YouTube doing or just kind of technology to where it kind of drops people off. And I've had to do that with YouTubers I've watched as well. I'm like, hey, I thought I was subscribed, but let me resubscribe. So yeah, that's something that you guys could do to help. So just a recap of everything. I want to do more lives with you guys. I need to figure out the technical difficulties and what's going on with StreamYard, because I want to be able to consistently do live streams with you guys. I'm going back to Mexico next month. Got my plane ticket. Woohoo! So that's another thing. And also, I'm on my way to being monetized here on YouTube, about 83% there. So if you guys could binge watch some videos that if you hadn't watched all the videos, and even if you have watched the videos, but you're just kind of like, oh, I really like that video. You can always casually binge watch. I do that with a lot of the YouTubers that I watch. I'll just put it on and allow the playlist to keep going. And as I'm washing dishes or cleaning up or whatever, I'll just allow. And then some of my favorite YouTubers, I don't know if this is good or bad, but I will start the video like when I'm about to go to sleep, and I'll end up falling asleep as the videos are going. So like when I'm about to go to sleep, I'm listening to it in, but then as time goes on, I'll end up falling asleep. Yeah, wake up in the middle of the night, and it's just kind of, hey, what's going on? So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but if you're someone who falls asleep like watching a show, and that's something that works for you, because that's how I used to do. Like I would fall asleep watching like the Golden Girls or whatever, but now I'll just put it on a YouTuber's playlist and I'll fall asleep doing that. But that's pretty cool because it gives the person some views, but then also it kind of serves the purpose of being kind of like my comfort show, but it's really supporting a YouTuber that I like. And then another part of the recap is me wanting to start a new series here on the channel called Struggle Horror Stories. And I guess I need to make sure that everyone kind of understands what it is. But if you guys, rewatch this live, and I don't know how long I'm gonna keep this live up. I'll keep it up for a bit. But I guess the fact that it kind of started rocky, I don't know. I'll probably eventually private this live, and then just kind of continue to talk about the whole plans for the new series in the future, because I think that'd be something really cool that can jump off on this channel. And I've saw a version of this being a series on many of the YouTubers that I like, to where I've known of a natural hair YouTuber to where her channel is about natural hair, but she had a series called Natural Hair Horror Stories, or Hair Horror Stories, to where people would people would write in, and she would read the letter during that episode. So, and the way my viewers would do that is through sending it to SoniaUnapologetic@gmail.com. So I'll talk about that more in the future, just for me to see how that can take off. And then once I have a couple of stories, then I'll do an episode. But hopefully that can be something that will continue to unfold and Also, I guess lastly, follow me on social media on Instagram and on Twitter. So I think that is all that I have. Hello, Black Culture Talks. This is a sister that has a channel on YouTube here, so go check out her channel. But she says, "Yay, back to Mexico! Congratulations, Sonia! Thank you so much." Angela Rochelle, hello, sis. Yeah, so yeah, so I guess that's probably all that I have for now. I thank you guys. I thank you guys for your patience and coming on, even though I had to change up the link. So I'm gonna figure out what's going on with StreamYard, because I had everything set up and I'm like, okay, why does it not connect? This is the second time it's done that since I haven't had the paid service. And it used to work fine when I had the paid service. So yeah, and I thought the only difference between the paid and unpaid service was you had some extra features, and then also you're able to live stream on like multiple platforms with the paid service. But I'm not quite sure with the unpaid service why it's not allowing me to connect at all. But yeah, that is it for now. I thank you all for watching and for being here. Trinity Grace, thank you for joining. She says, many blessings and safe travels as you return to Mexico. Thank you so much. So, yeah, I guess that's all I have for now. And thank you guys for joining, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.